It's been 8 years of pure madness in business and entrepreneurship. This is what I've been doing. You know, if you're watching and you're in your early 20s and you're about to start business, I've got a lot of people now watching 18, 19, 20s watching my videos and learning about entrepreneurship. 8 years where I was, things I'm going to share with you today are the things that I personally learned, are the things that you're not going to find through school, colleges and stuff. There's some things you will, but not more importantly, when you go through the journey that, with an entrepreneurship, with business, you get to learn and you let yourself be so much stronger. So in today's video, the 7 things I want to share you. I want to share you absolute blast of everything I personally gone through. And more importantly, I want to share you some of the story that's going to make me the person who I am today, to be able to come in front of you, to be able to go through all this information that I've experienced over the last 8 years of just doing business every single day. So guys, welcome to another video of mine. So number 1 is closing skills. Now, going back into 8 years ago when I started my first franchise business, it's a perfume business. It's got including fragrances and stuff in the middle of town centre in Aldershot. I remember selling products worth £4.50. Now, what I realised, what a closing skill is for £4.50 was exactly the same when I was valuing houses and closing homeowners to sell houses in my estate agent business. And all of a sudden, I actually thought about it when I was doing those. Actually, the skill set required for closing was exactly the same. Doesn't matter if it was a £4.50 value or 1% sell on a profit on a sale value. It was exactly the same skill set I used. So it's so important to understand how to close, and more importantly, to understand what the person who you're speaking to, who you're about to sell a product or give them a service, are valuing you. Well, number 2 is still not my favorite, which is public speaking. I have done a few public speaking over the last 8 years, and thankfully, I must say, as much as I don't like it, I will do it, and that's out of my comfort zone. But what I realised about public speaking was you get to connect to a lot of people. In my channel, I get, 200, 300 views every day. It's not public speaking, but I get to connect to 200 and 300 people like yourself who gets to listen to me, who gets to understand my feelings about business, my journey, and also to make you guys understand how important it is. I come from in a background from Nepal. I only moved here about 15 years ago, so English isn't my first language. But then to be able to come, and do this and to speak to people all over the world, to be able to go in front of, I think it was last time I spoke was over 2,000 people. It's been a fascinating journey, and what was important is to be able to portray your message, to articulate yourself. And you know what? I'm still improving, I'm still learning, but like I said, you're a learner every day. So guys, keep that in mind. Keep public speaking. If you've got an opportunity to go and speak somewhere and you've been invited, make sure you take that as an opportunity. Well, going back to when I was a young kid, right, I used to love going to school on time, and sometimes even before time. My mother used to always tell me, Piers, what's the point of you going to school that early when the school is not open? And today I actually make a joke with my mum, and we speak about it, saying how well I look after my time. I'm never late. I'm always early with every single appointment, be it my face-to-face appointment or my Zoom appointment. And why do I do that? Is going back to the habit that I created over the last probably about 20 years, right? By going to school, going in time, going early, to today, going into my meetings early. And it's a habit that you create, and it genuinely makes a huge difference on the way you become successful. Well, the 4th one is financial literacy. Now, one thing I've always got in my desk, and every single decision I make is through this. Now, you guys probably, if you haven't seen this, it's from Rich Dad Poor Dad, and it's the cash flow quadrant. I still struggle sometimes to understand and try, making a bigger financial decision, I'll come back to this, look at where it's going to value me and what the output is. And 90% of time, if it's an expenses that's not going to give me any return on investment, that will tell me not to do it. Now, this is probably a basic way to do it, but it's changed my life because it allows me to really understand where I'm investing my money and how careful I am with my money and my investments. So again, something that you want to learn, and look, print it out. It's quite easy. Talks to you about asset, liabilities, everything, income, expenses. But yeah, really good tool, and make sure you understand the process fully. But lastly, you probably seen from my channel here, my mindset around business, just entrepreneurship. Now, over the last 8 years, I've had a fascinating journey about, learning about business, learning about entrepreneurship. Being in the UK for the last 15 years, I got to understand what business was, how to adapt to business model in the UK, how to get clients, how to serve a client, how to build a team, how to build system. There's so much, and it all went back to my mindset. If my mindset wasn't strong and I didn't get to build my, what I did over the last few years and some of the challenges I had, we would not be in a position today where we are in GrowYourBnb with a team of 15 and stuff. And it goes back to just everything you do, really. It's just, I'm sure there's people out there who work out amazingly well, and that's purely due to their mindset. I'm a heavy lifter, but in business, I like doing things in business. I like taking risky decisions in business, and as a result of that, you get a great return on yourself. Number 6, just talk about just normal stuff in the internet world. It could be copywriting. It's how you communicate. Something I've learned in my business, especially in short-term rental business and in my channel, I don't normally make business content. All I do is create short-term rental content because that's what I love doing. That's everything you ask me about short-term rental. Everything I create on my channel is not prepared. It is everything I know, everything I go through every single week for my clients, and I put it on a video for you guys to watch. But you might be someone who doesn't follow me for short-term rental business, and you just like the way I portray myself, and it's purely because of learning. It's learning how to communicate. It's learning how I want to give value to you, right? And important is, as much as I do that, I want to make sure you guys learn through my journey and my processes. Well, lastly, not to bore you too much, is the leadership skills, because at the end of the day, once you go from a self-employed person to a business owner, you probably think about, well, you've turned, a self-employment, whatever you were doing on your own, to probably having a team of 2 or 3 people. And then today we are a business or an organization. I've got a team of 15, and having that leadership where every single one is important, every single team member is important, everyone in the business is important for me, because all we're doing at the end of the day, I go into team meetings and say to them, we can do everything right, but we're doing it for our clients. That's all we're doing. As long as we do the right things for our customer, that comes down to getting great results. Now, that's going back into leadership from me, leadership from my management team and the business as well. And that's something that will come to you as you grow your business, but more importantly, when you learn about business and how to become successful. Please make sure you keep coming back to understand about me, my short-term rental business, my growth in the industry. My goal, in the next 10, 15 years is to celebrate every single video that I've created on YouTube. Go into my Facebook. The last few years, I've celebrated big successes of our client in the industry. The UK market really understands what I'm trying to portray on getting bookings, short-term rental businesses and stuff. And we are moving into bigger and better pictures of creating software, creating an app. So if you're going to follow my journey, I am within this process in the next few years, documenting everything I can possibly get to show you guys. So yeah, please make sure you hit that like, subscribe and share. And please make sure you come back and watch another video.